You don't notice it at first because nothing dramatic is happening. No loud motivation, no sudden breakthrough, no overnight transformation, just tiny, quiet actions repeated inside ordinary moments, and somehow the people who live this way seem calmer, more focused, less overwhelmed. And psychology says that's exactly how real change works. Not through intensity, but through consistency. So if you've ever wondered why some cultures create such grounded, resilient minds, the answer might be hiding in the smallest habits you usually overlook. The truth is, massive life changes rarely come from massive effort. Research shows your brain craves predictability and small rewards, and when habits feel simple enough to repeat, they slip past resistance, which is why these 5 Japanese habits look almost too small to matter. Yet, over time, they quietly reshape behavior, identity, and emotional stability. The first habit is cleaning as a form of respect, not just for the space, but for the self. In Japan, people clean classrooms, offices, even public places. And psychology explains this through embodied cognition, where physical actions directly influence mental states. When you tidy, even briefly, your brain receives a signal of control and order, reducing anxiety and mental noise. So when life feels chaotic, starting with a small physical reset tells your nervous system that things are manageable again. Another habit is slowing down meals and eating with attention. Research shows mindful eating improves digestion, emotional regulation, and impulse control because your brain finally has time to register satisfaction instead of chasing stimulation. This isn't about diet, it's about presence when you eat without rushing. Your body shifts out of fight or flight and into rest mode. And if you've ever felt calmer after a quiet meal, that's your parasympathetic system doing exactly what it's designed to do. There is also the habit of finding purpose in small roles. A concept known as Ikigai psychology links this to meaning-making, which protects against burnout and depression. When your brain believes even a small task matters, motivation becomes internal instead of forced. So whether it's making tea, caring for a plant, or doing your work with intention, your mind stays anchored instead of constantly searching for validation. Another powerful habit is acceptance of imperfection, known as wabi. Sabi research on self-compassion shows that accepting flaws reduces shame and increases resilience. Your brain stops wasting energy, fighting reality, when mistakes are treated as natural data instead of personal failure. So if you're tired of feeling behind or not enough, this mindset gently softens the inner pressure that keeps you stuck. The final habit is consistency over intensity, showing up a little every day. Psychology calls this the compound effect. Small behaviors repeated daily create neural pathways that feel automatic over time. Your brain loves routines because they save energy, and when habits are gentle, they don't trigger resistance, which is why doing something imperfectly but repeatedly always beats doing it perfectly once. When you look at these habits together, you realize none of them demand more discipline, money, or motivation. They simply align with how your brain already works, reducing friction, increasing calm, and quietly shaping who you become. And if self-improvement has ever felt overwhelming, this is your reminder that change doesn't need to hurt to be real. And if this helped you see habits differently, take a moment to subscribe, and share it with someone who's tired of chasing motivation and wants change that actually lasts, because your brain grows through repetition, and sometimes the smallest shifts create the deepest peace.